Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's season 2, guys. I'm excited to be here. And thank you guys for supporting Sip and Chat. Thank you guys for being with me on this amazing journey. I hope you missed me because I missed you all. And I have so many interesting personalities for this season. You know, you already know how I do. But for tonight, I have a very, very special guest. For the first time on the platform, I'm bringing an athlete. And I had to beg, but they're here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's do the imaginary clap for the one and only Mustapha Carayol. Welcome to Sip and Chat.
Thank you. Thank you for
I
having
want to
me.
say that you're a fan of Sip and Chat, but I want you to say it for yourself, so it's not like I'm putting it in, you know? But anyway, tell the people who you are.
I'm Mustapha Carayol. I'm a Gambian footballer based in England. And yeah, I've been a big fan of Sip and Chat since it's come out. To be honest, I've had no choice. If I don't watch it, she's on to me anyway. So, but yeah, I've enjoyed season 1, so hopefully season 2 is even better.
Thank you very much. A big thank you to Kalimba for always coming through, for always supporting Sip and Chat, for giving us this space to use however we please to set up, and you know, for these amazing cocktails that I'll get into after. And a massive thank you to Tikis. You know, right around the end of season 1, Tikis was dressing me with fabulous outfits. And I've always said that one thing I like about Tikis is the only thing I did was send in my measurements. And they're based in Cote d'Ivoire. But you know, before the season ends, I might have a surprise for you from Tikis. They're based in Cote d'Ivoire right now, but she's Gambian. And I always brag and say, every time I have a Tikis outfit on, I call myself a Tikis woman, because a Tikis woman is stylish. So this piece was done by Tikis. So thank you very much, Tikis, for being a part of this. Thank you for supporting. Right back to you, right? You're a footballer, but I just want to know what position, because you know, I know football, but my knowledge on football is limited. So what position do you play?
I'm a winger. So basically a left attacker.
Okay.
I can play up front, but I don't really enjoy it, to be honest. So yeah, most of my career I've played on the left.
On the left. How long has it been since you've been playing football?
I think I made my debut 15 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing this for quite a minute now. So my body's hurting. So yeah, I've been playing for a while. It's been enjoyable, and I know there may not be long left, but as long as I can enjoy it and my body lets me, then I'm going to carry on playing.
Has football always been your first love, or is it just something you kind of stumbled into?
Yeah, it's always been my first love. My dad got me into football. Anybody that knows him knows he's a football fanatic. So yeah, he got me into football. At first I wanted to be a goalkeeper, but then I realised I was too short for that. So yeah, I've always played. I've always played from, I think, from the age of 7, I think. 6, 7, yeah.
And growing up, just give us a little bit of background about how you grew up.
I was born in Gambia.
Okay.
What's that hospital? RVH. I was born there.
Okay.
I moved early to France,
Okay.
Paris with my mum. That's where she was studying, and ended up moving back to Gambia for a year.
Okay.
I went to was it Mrs. No? I went to school
Nice.
there for a year, and then I finally moved to England when I was 6 years old, and then yeah, I've been in England ever since then.
Okay. So when I know you grew up in South London,
South London, Peckham.
Peckham.
Yeah.
How has that influenced your childhood? Because from what I understand, I don't think it was the safest place.
No.
Was it?
No.
So what was that like, and how did that help you or influence you in a way?
It was rough, but for me it was home. So I never ever felt, there's times obviously you feel uncomfortable because of things that happen in shootings and killings and whatever, but for me it's always been home. And even when I did move away and I was playing football and lived in nice areas, nice houses, whenever I went home it was always home for me. Every time I had a day off, I was home. Like everybody that knows me knows I like to be around my family. So
was it hard to focus at that time?
Nah,
No.
because I knew what I wanted. So, and I knew being on the road or hanging around at certain times weren't going to get me there. So yeah.
Being a teenager, you kind of knew. You always you knew what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I got in my fair share of trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always knew that this is what I wanted to do, and if there was any way that I could help my family live a comfortable life, I think it was that. So I kind of gave myself no choice, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the trouble part, but you kind of mentioned it already. So I want to know what kind of trouble you got into. Because now, looking at you now as a full-grown man, you look very laid back, very relaxed, very much like I'm not trying to be in trouble. But what type of trouble did Mustapha get into growing up?
A lot. I don't think I should say, because if my mum watches and she says, "This that you're telling about Gambian people, this is the type of trouble you used to get into." Yeah, a lot. Some bad stuff, but it's more the influencer, and I don't think we intended to do them. I think just being on the road and
boys being boys.
Yeah, boys being boys, basically. Yeah. So yeah, I've been arrested a few times and stuff like that.
For doing what?
No, I can't. It wasn't that bad because I didn't end up in jail. So
You can say that though.
yeah, no, I'll leave it there.
Oh, I almost said something, but I'm glad I didn't say it.
I'll leave it.
But no. But you were arrested for fighting?
Yeah. Other things. Yeah, we just leave it there.
That's not but anyway, coming back home, when was it time? Because I know you've played in the English League.
Yeah.
For how long before you? Because I know now I have an understanding that with Gambian football you have to be called back to play for the national team.
Yeah.
How did that happen for you?
I think the first time I got called up by Gambia was when I was 20.
Okay.
When I was 20 years old. At the time I was at Torquay United, and I didn't want to play.
Why?
Because my family was advising me that I needed to kind of build my career in England first. And I don't think the Gambian setup was what it is now. And I just felt like it might have disrupted what I wanted to do, all the traveling and stuff like that. So, yeah. But to be honest, if I had one regret in my career, it's probably not coming to play for Gambia earlier.
Sooner.
Yeah, 100%.
So when they called you at 20, you didn't come?
No, they called me every single year until I finally came when I was 26, I think it was. 25 or 26 when I came back from my knee injury.
Okay.
That's when I decided to come and play. Yeah.
And why do you say that was your regret? What? Because obviously after like 6 years of being called back, you must have realized something for you to have that regret or kind of feel like I should have done this earlier. What was that?
The reason why I think I should have is because there's no better feeling than playing for your country. Like, I've played for big teams and you have a massive support, and there's no support better than your people, your actual people, and you know that they genuinely love and care, and through thick and thin they're going to be with you.
Yeah.
What made me realize that I needed to is I had a serious injury called ACL, which is a cruciate ligament. I'd say probably the most serious injury that you can possibly have in football. I didn't play for 13 months, and that made me realize that football could get taken away from me at any minute. So the minute I came back from that, I said, no, I have to go and play for Gambia, because if I don't play for Gambia and my career ends,
That's it.
then I'll just be living with regret, basically.
Okay. And since you've been back, since you started coming back to play for the national team, you've always played the same position.
Yeah, always.
And you mentioned that you play for big teams. So what are some of the teams you've played for?
Middlesbrough,
Okay.
Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Huddersfield, Ipswich. I'd say probably those are my biggest teams I've played for, yeah.
So
and then I've obviously played 2 years abroad as well. I played in Cyprus for a year, and then a year and a half in Turkey.
So you've had a very lengthy career, but that's also because you started off as a teenager. What are some of the changes you think would be better for Gambian football between I know it's a big gap to even ask about England and Gambia.
Yeah, massive gap.
What are some of the changes you would like to see?
I know this is an interesting conversation because everybody talks about Gambian football. especially now with everything going on with the stadium and everything. But I think the main thing, I think everybody concentrates on the national team and this and bonuses and the travel, and I think first we need to start with the grassroots and the actual Gambian League. Last year, when I cancelled my contract in Turkey, I spent 4.5 months here, and I trained with Real de Banjul, and so I got to really know Gambian football. That was my first time actually being around it, training with them every day, and yeah, I feel like they need to concentrate on making sure the teams have the right equipment, balls, bibs, kits, coaches, a good training field that they can train on. Because if you look at the Gambian national team now, everybody's come from Gambia. I'd say in the whole setup, it's only been me, Ibu Toure, Ibu Adams. Who else didn't learn how to play football in Gambia? I'll tell you what, I think Babakar Gay. Like there's not many, and then obviously recently there's been a lot more from other countries. So I feel like that in itself should show them that they need to pride in the football that's going on here, because like Gambian football's growing and there's so much talent in the leagues. Every time I have a chance, I go to the stadiums and watch the league, and yeah, there's unbelievable talent, and I feel like the only way you're going to be able to fulfill that and give everybody the best chance to go and play in Europe, like a lot of the players are now, is by investing in them. And you know what I mean, like even their salaries and stuff like that. Like when I find out how much they get paid for, and then they're having to take care of their families, it's hard to believe sometimes.
Because that can be demotivating, especially
if you feel
so
much.
You're so talented and you're so skilled, and you know you can do so much better, but also you're not paid a certain, like you're not paid a decent amount that you can fall back on.
Yeah, because you get to a certain part in your life where you're like, do I take care of my family, or do I try and chase this dream? And let's be honest, trying to be a footballer is nearly impossible anyway, because I think the statistic is 0.01 only make it to play professional and have an actual career. So I won't be able to even do the maths in Gambia. It must be 1 out of 100. You know what I mean? So I feel like they just need to give the people the best opportunity, because we have so much talent here. And at the moment, I just feel like they're just doing the bare minimum rather than trying to push it.
In what areas? I know you've mentioned some of the things that they can really do in terms of payment, but when it comes to actual training the footballers to be very, very skilled, what do you think of that?
Obviously, the equipment first is the most important. Making sure they've got a good pitches, training kits, flying out the coaches to go Europe and do their coaching badges and stuff like that. That's very important, because then you get different ideas. And let's be honest, football is developing so quickly that I don't think you can learn to coach here and be an exceptional coach. And I feel like the players that we have here need to be given the best opportunity, and by that they need to be trained by the best coaches. So I've met some great coaches here, some really good coaches, and one that I'm close to is Ibu Jara, who was the coach at Real de Banjul, and he's a good coach, and he learnt to coach obviously in England. So he has obviously a lot of different ideas and stuff like that. So yeah, especially, I'm not even saying the managers of the teams in the league, but like the young coaches that are learning, like, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be around when the young kids. So yeah, those are the main things for me, I think.
So you've mentioned that when you came last year, you played with Real de Banjul. Is this a thing now you want to do every time you're back home, or?
To be honest, last year the reason why I did it was because my dad had passed, so I ended up obviously cancelling my contract in Turkey. Came home, and I just wanted to be around family, so I was here for 4 months, and I knew I had to train. So yeah, I did that, and I really enjoyed it. This year I've not done that, because I played obviously the whole season, and just kind of needed to give my body a rest, to be honest. But when I do have time and I feel like it, then yeah, I definitely.
And And I know a lot of footballers also transition, a lot of athletes actually, transition from when they play to coaching after football. Is that a plan you have, or? Because I think you'd be good at it.
Yeah, a lot of people have said I'd be good at it, but I don't know if I have the actual passion for it, and I don't like doing anything half-hearted. So things may change, but for now, I've not done any of my coaching badges, which I've had loads of opportunities to. I can do it for free in England, but I don't really have. If I was to do coaching, it would be when I finally come Gambian settle and I do it for free.
Okay,
but
free.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it as a job.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to do it as a job.
So
no.
you would probably do it because you have the passion for it, but not to get
Yeah,
actually get paid
more developing players and watching them become. I think that would be the only driving factor for me. I don't think I'd be wanting to get up and drive the kids to training and blow whistles and kick footballs. I think I've done that long enough now.
What are some of your passions off the pitch?
Passions. I love property.
Okay.
I think after football, I think that's what I'd probably want to do full time. Passions. More just spending time with my family, to be honest.
That's true.
Yeah. And just enjoying life as much as I can.
Okay. So you did mention property, and I did want to, touch a little bit into business talk. Obviously, you and I know each other outside of work. So, and I've seen that you've been very passionate about that. Is that like property development, or just to buy property and resell? Or what other plans do you have to expand that? And is that going to be like a full-time thing after football, or?
Yeah, that is the plan. The plan is to become a property developer. I started property in England, so I have my own in England, and I started that probably about 6-7 years ago.
Okay.
And then obviously recently, about 2 years ago, I started in Gambia buying land and selling to a lot of English people. Eventually I'm planning on this year starting my first development in Gambia, and hopefully that will be the first of many.
That's smart. We'll go with our first break. When we're back, more with Mustapha. Welcome back after that break. A massive thank you to Global Properties for being a part of the Sip and Chat family. They were with us throughout season 1, and they're here with us for season 2. So thank you very much for supporting. A massive thank you to Kalimba for always coming through, for always lending us the space. I'm back here with the one and only Mustapha Carayol, that plays for the national team, but also is based in England. And right before we got off, we were talking about his interest outside of football and how property development might be your thing after football. I just want to touch on a little bit on the national team. I know that the team has recently gone to the AFCON, and I know that Can? Which one's coming up? Sorry, I'm not very knowledgeable.
AFCON again.
AFCON again, right? So what has that experience been like? I know you've not played, but what has that experience been like? Just to know that this is the team that I've been with for time, and now here we are.
No better feeling.
Yeah.
No better feeling. I've seen obviously a lot of the boys from young come up, and it was amazing to watch them on the biggest African football stage, and I think they did amazing. They did amazing. I think some of the boys really showed their potential, and I'm sure that is the start of many things to come in Gambian football.
Being with a team for that long and seeing them at the AFCON, like you said, must have been one of the best feelings. What are some of the tips that you've noticed or the things? And I know you recently went to Senegal to watch their game with South Sudan as well.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't think it was the ideal situation with the stadium. Obviously, you'd rather play in your country and be in front of your people. But yeah, it's the a little positive from a bit of a rubbish situation, to be honest. I know obviously the players would have preferred to play in front of their families and friends and stuff like that, but it is what it is at the moment, and we just got to do whatever you got to do. Obviously the boys got off to a good start. They won the game. I don't think they played to their potential, but I'm sure they've not been together for a few months, so that was probably the reason why. And I'm sure in the upcoming games they'll be up for it, because they have now. It's a total different pressure, because before it was like, oh, hopefully we might qualify, and now it is we need to qualify.
You're in the big leagues.
Yeah, so now you're in the big leagues and everybody expects you to win, so it makes games obviously a lot tougher. But we have a lot of players that play in big leagues and big occasions, so I don't think they will crumble under the pressure. I think it might even play into our advantage that we're not actually playing in Gambia.
You think
and
so?
Having the pressure of the actual fans, and because when you play here, honestly, it's the best feeling in the world, but you carry so much pressure, like it's unbelievable. I can't explain the feeling.
Simply because you have people you know in the stands, or is it just the feeling of I'm home?
Not really. Not even the fan, like whoever's in the stands, because the minute the game starts, you forget all that anyway.
Okay.
It's more just you don't want to let anybody down, and we know how much it means to the Gambian people. And for me, the moment that hits me is after the national anthem and everybody celebrates. Like, it just sends chills down your spine.
Really?
There's no better feeling, honestly.
It's so nice when you hear somebody speak of their job with so much passion, because it's like when I speak of like hosting or doing work for the media or whatever, it almost mirrors what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because before you get in front of a camera or when you're on stage, right, before you talk to people, you kind of have that feeling as well.
Yeah.
So knowing that you're in the presence of thousands of people, and then they just sang the national anthem and you're about to play. And you know, the thing with football is that you're in control. It's like nobody's controlling anything for you.
Yeah.
So if you miss, it's you.
Yeah.
If you score, it's you, kind of.
And you know the Gambian people.
And you know
if you score, you're the greatest. If you miss, it's like you've never played football.
you're the worst.
Even when Musa had a few penalties in AFCON, I was just saying, please score.
Please score.
Because I know he's the main man, and I know you can go from, in football, you can go from 0 to 0 in seconds.
Yeah.
So, penalties. Yeah, real pressure situation when you're kicking them for your country.
What has been the biggest moment of your career so far?
Biggest moment? For me personally, the best game I probably played in was probably playing in the Europa Cup.
Okay.
And playing against Algeria in Gambia.
Yeah.
When the stadium was full and it was
was
delayed for like an hour and a half.
That was.
I think there was no feeling like it. Like, it was just literally 90 minutes of adrenaline, and like I couldn't even tell you anything that happened in the game. It's just a blur.
Really?
Yeah. It was just enjoyable, just knowing that there were so many people watching. And
Yeah, because that game was big.
Yeah.
That was a really, really big game. Knowing that you've played football for half your life, and obviously football is not a lifelong career. It's something you can play, for lucky players, you can play for 20 years, you know, but I also...
That's one out of...
One.
Yeah.
You can play for at least 17, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And I know you've played for over 10 years now. And this is a career...
15.
For 15 years. At some point, you're going to say bye-bye to it. So you're nearing the end. Does that scare you?
Not at all.
It doesn't?
Not at all.
So it means...
I look forward to it, to be honest.
You do? Why?
Kinda, yeah. Just because, obviously, football is the only thing that I've ever known. But I've got to over the last few years, I've gotten to know other things and kind of accept that there's actual life after football.
After football.
And I think football's been good to me. So, yeah, I think and the person it's made me and how thick-skinned I am and whatever, I think will just put me in good stead for after football. And I think, inshallah, I should be. I'll be fine.
You'll
I'll
be
be fine. I think, yeah.
So if you weren't a football player, if you weren't a professional football player, what would you have been?
A football player.
I said if you weren't.
Honestly, I didn't give myself any other
Option.
thing, yeah.
Or
And
really,
you
it
know
was just football and
yeah,
over.
You know my mum, and if you asked her, I don't think I've ever said anything. All the time she was like, "Oh, go to school, do this," and I come from a smart family anyway. My mum's a brain box, and she tried to drag us down, and I just said to her that ain't for me.
Drag you down where?
To the study route and becoming maybe a doctor or a lawyer, and I just never was passionate about that.
Really?
I don't think I even had the concentration span to do that. Yeah, do studying and revising and getting ready for exams. So, yeah, I didn't. I'm not telling everybody to do this, by the way. That's a disclaimer.
I was about to say you have a lot of young, a lot of young men looking up to you now.
Yeah, don't follow what I did. I'm one of the few that probably got lucky and got to actually do the job that I actually wanted to do.
But you always knew it was football.
Yeah.
You did it like.
Always.
There was never another career that you thought about.
Never. I think as a kid you say things like a fireman and all of these just because they buy you those type of costumes and but seriously, no.
No.
I just always said football. Like I remember my teachers in school used to be like, "Oh, maybe if you get an injury and this and
what are you gonna do
yeah,"
next?
and I was
stuff
just
like
like,
that.
"Oh, it don't matter. You're gonna see me on TV soon anyway."
Oop.
So,
So you
I always just had this confidence, and I feel like it wasn't even more the confidence. It was more just the driving force of knowing that I could potentially make my
you were
family's
just
life better.
convicted that this was it.
Yeah.
So I know, and I also know because of football and outside of football, you love traveling and you've traveled to a lot of places for leisure. What would you say is your favorite place? Your favorite city? You know that this one at any given day, I could go.
Besides Gambia.
I knew Gambia was coming, but okay, let's just put Gambia out of the map. Besides Gambia.
I think my favourite places I've been is, anyone that knows me knows I love Dubai. Yeah, Dubai is normally my go-to. Bahamas, really good. Miami, really good.
Why
yeah,
Dubai?
I'd say my go-to Dubai.
Why Dubai?
One, it's a Muslim country. Two, you feel extra safe there. I mean, anybody that knows Dubai knows they've got the strictest laws and whatever, so you feel safe. Good party life, good restaurants to eat. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a foodie. I love food. I'm lucky I don't put on no weight. But yeah, it's one of those places that you have. Think of all the best places in the world, and you have that in one country. Yeah.
Besides football, any other hidden talents? I mean, this is not hidden, but you know, any hidden talents?
I don't know. No, I'm not too sure.
No?
I wouldn't say I have an actual hidden talent. I think I'm one of those people that I'm okay at a lot of things.
You're not. The only thing you're great at is football.
In school, they used to, you know, when there used to be people that they used to call them gifted and talented.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of them. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Gifted and talented.
That's you.
Yeah. I'm one of them.
If you're gifted and talented, then you must be talented in something else.
No, I don't know.
No?
Nah.
No?
No.
Okay.
Let's leave it at football.
That's the only thing. That's your calling. That's your gift. Outside of that, it's just to eat and enjoy. But, okay. Now that you're not married, are you?
No.
No? You know, if this was a woman, right? They would ask them, why, you know, your time is nearing, you've gotten all this money, but you're not really fully a woman unless you have a man by your side. Do you get that conversation?
Yeah.
No?
My parents and my aunties and that, they'll joke about it, but for me, I don't think you can peer pressure anybody into marriage. So I'm a firm believer of that. I know we have our tradition and our beliefs, but at the end of the day, if I let my mum pick my wife for me, it's me that has to deal with her when we're alone. So
It is.
I think until I have the right woman and I'm 100% sure that it can work, then yeah, I do want to get married.
Yeah.
But I will at the right time.
At the right time. Would you call yourself a romantic person?
It depends what you call romance.
Oh my God. Why is it that I feel like men always avoid this or they always try to dodge it? Would you call yourself, do you consider yourself a romantic partner? Person?
I think everyone's romantic in different ways though.
Okay.
And me and you have had this conversation
We have.
many a times that
We have.
people want to be loved in different ways.
True.
So I don't really know if I would call myself a romantic, but I do care about the person that I'm with. I want to see them happy. I want to share everything I have with them. So if they would call that romantic, then, yeah. I don't know if I could.
You know what being a romantic means, do you not?
Kinda.
Do you think you're
But
that?
it covers a.
It does. It really does. Okay, so I'll just ask this then. Then this hopefully will help you. What is the most romantic thing you've done for a partner?
See, you're going to make me seem like I'm not romantic.
I asked this to all my guests.
I've done so many things though. I don't know.
What's the one thing that stands out to you that you feel like, you know what, I've done a lot, but this one stands out?
See, I should have been prepared for this question because I've seen so many people ask this question.
On the
But
show.
I can't. I've gone blank.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah,
Hold that
let's
thought
leave
and
that.
think about it.
Yeah,
We're
let's
not
leave
leaving
that.
it. We're going with our second break. When we're back, more with Mustapha. Welcome back after that break. Massive thank you to our main sponsors of the show, Kalimba and Global Properties. Thank you for being with us. Right before we went on a break, I was asking Mustapha what was the most romantic thing he thinks he's ever done for a partner. And he was stumbling. I feel like a lot of men. But for you, what do you think? And you know, like you said, romance or being a romantic partner is very subjective to how the person you're with or how they want to be loved and how they want to be treated. You know, you could be with somebody that's a very, they like thoughtful gifts or they, you know, so that could.
Yeah, I feel like everybody. I'm a very thoughtful person.
Okay.
I think. People might say different. Never know, but I think I'm a thoughtful person. So
Okay.
I could go into a store or whatever, and I'll always buy before I buy for myself.
Okay.
I'm one of those people. I'm very simple anyway. I don't really need much
Okay.
to live. So, yeah, I think that's probably the most romantic thing I'll probably do. I'll buy. Hey, have you eaten? buy her
Food.
bring it back, and I think that's me being romantic. I think.
Okay. That's his way of being a romantic partner. You know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. What is the strangest rumor you've ever heard about yourself? Craziest one.
I don't think I've heard any. You know.
Really?
No, I don't think I put myself in a position
To be spoken about like that, or by people, or by
Are we talking about
blogs.
Gambia or
Gambia, both.
Gambia, never.
Gambia never.
Gambia, nothing.
Abroad?
No.
No.
I kind of keep myself to myself. I've had the same core of friends since I was about 9. I don't think I have any new friends from when I was 17, 18. I've had the same friends for 15 years. Yeah.
Same. What is something that you do when you're not playing football?
Well, when I'm not playing football.
When you're alone, not playing football.
Gambia.
Gambia straight away.
I just come straight to Gambia. And yeah, just being around my family and just enjoying eating food and chilling out. Yeah.
Okay. After football, do you have any plans of coming back home to settle, or is your life just going to be like fully in England?
If I had the choice, I'd probably come straight after I finish football. But I have a young son, so I have to kind of bear him in mind. But yeah, in the long run, at least before I'm 40, I want to be living full time, or at least 8 to 9 months here. The rest of the time.
Sorry, you say you have a young son. How old is he?
He's 2 years old.
What's his name?
Nasir.
Cute. Yeah. How did that make you feel being a dad?
Best feeling ever. Changed my life.
How?
Because I've always grown up with football being the most important thing to me, and now he's
the most important.
Yeah, I would drop football in a second.
For him.
For him, yeah.
When did that? Because you know people would usually say, the moment I saw my child, everything changed. When was that moment for you?
The minute I seen him come on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Best feeling ever.
People say that, and I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I wanted to be the first to change his nappy and everything.
Really?
Yeah, it was the best feeling ever.
Do you want him to play football?
Yeah and no, because I know it takes a certain type of character to play football. So I never ever force my little brother to play football.
Okay.
So I never do it to my son. Like if he wants to play football, then he can, and I'll support him and.
Do you teach him?
Coach him? No.
No.
To be honest, naturally, he loves football. That's
Okay.
the only toy he plays with. He doesn't really play with anything else. So it must be in his blood.
It must be.
But yeah, I won't force him. I'll just let him pick whatever he wants to do.
If he wants to play football,
if
great.
If he does, great. If he doesn't, I'm sure he'll have a lot more things that he can get himself into.
That is it's such an interesting yet beautiful thing to see an athlete with a child, and then because it can be a bit, it's like parents, when parents are lawyers or businessmen and then or businesswomen, and then they want their kids to follow in their footsteps. It's almost refreshing to hear you say, you know what, if they do it, great. If not, okay.
No, because I just know football's not for everybody, and you have to be a type of, you've got to have this fire in your belly to become a footballer. So you can't push somebody to do something that they're not passionate about. And the ups and downs that come with football and the mental toughness you need, I won't be able to live with myself if I force them to play football. Yeah. I see so many parents do it, and I'm just like, no,
never.
This ain't it. Because my parents never ever forced me. As much as my dad was a football fanatic, never ever. I never let them watch me when I was younger.
Really?
Yeah. My mum's never ever watched me play in the stadium, ever.
Till now?
Never. She will never ever come where we're playing on TV. Even in Gambia, when she's here 5 minutes from the stadium, she'll never. You couldn't even pay her to go and
Why?
She just has anxiety the whole time when I'm playing.
Okay.
So my sisters and whatever will watch and just let her know how the game's going. So
okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I think that's the last thing I'd tell my son to do, play football. If he wants to, great. If he doesn't,
that's fine.
Yeah.
You mentioned something that I'm very passionate about, as you know, and I know being an athlete comes with a lot.
Yeah.
You have to you know, you have to be a certain way. There's a lot of quote unquote demons you fight, kind of. When you're and mental health is very important, and these things I'll talk to you about. When you're in a state where you know what your mental health is struggling, and you being an athlete, you kind of always have to be on your best every time. How or what do you do to help yourself center?
I think as an athlete, you go through so many mental episodes. Like, I couldn't even count how many times I felt great, because it's hard, because you train, one day you're good, one day you're bad. This week you've won the game, next week you've lost. So it is really an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Like, for me, anybody that knows me, like, I speak about it freely, and I've dealt with a lot of anxiety in my in my past. So and I've played with it my whole career. Nobody will probably ever know. Nobody will probably ever know that I go into every game super nervous, like, feel drained. But I think I got to a point where I just learned to control it, and just accepted that there's no such thing as a perfect game, and you can just control what you can control. You can't control the score or the outcome of the game. So yeah, I think that's what I did, and I feel like probably say about 5-6 years ago, I kind of really got to control it and just say to myself, all right, cool, it is what it is. I'm just gonna go and play and just enjoy myself. So,
but what helped you? Because I know, like you said, being a professional athlete puts a lot of strain on your mental health, because you're dealing with, today you're on a high, tomorrow you're on a low. You know, every time you come out, it's a different feeling. But how do you, like, outside of talking yourself to be in a better space, what are some of the tips that you would say you use?
I wouldn't even say I have any tips. I think I speak to people.
Okay.
I think that's very important. And anyone that knows me knows I'm a very closed book. Don't really speak much. My mum's my best friend. So yeah,
I speak
to her, and she just lets me know. But we deal with so much. Like, you can imagine, even the boys from Gambia, how much they deal with, and like the pressures of them having to take care of their whole family. Like, for me, there's no bigger pressure in this world than knowing that you've got your family in your back and they're relying on you. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, just speaking to people, because if there's one regret I have, is not having a therapist throughout my whole career, because I should have.
Yeah, I was going to ask that as next, as you being a professional footballer, especially being in a space where you have so many opportunities to a therapist. Did you talk to anybody, or have you started now? Because also I feel like everybody needs therapy. That's how I believe. I believe every single human being needs therapy. I don't care how great you think you're. Everybody needs somebody to help them unpack.
Yeah.
You know, now that you're very much more aware of it, do you have a therapist?
I don't have one fully now, because I feel like I've kind of gotten over that hill of feeling worried about football.
Okay.
If football was to stop now, what am I going to do? Will I be able to look after my family? I feel like I've gotten past that stage.
Okay.
So I feel like that has dropped my anxiety or whatever way I'd be feeling a lot. But yeah, I feel like the first time I felt like I really needed therapy was when I moved to Cyprus, and I was on my own.
Okay.
So I started seeing a therapist twice a week on Skype.
Okay.
And just that in itself, it helps, because we go through so much. Like, you got to think injuries, not being in the team, and at the end of the day, a footballer, like, they always say, oh yeah, it's okay as long as you're getting your money.
No.
What are you bothered about? It's never that.
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter how much money you earn, you want to play. So not being able to play for whatever reasons is on your mind, it's crazy. Honestly, sometimes it can drive you mad.
So do you have any tips? Because you've seen the show.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for people or young professional footballers or people that are trying to get into football and they are in a space where they're wondering, will it happen for me, and it's affecting their mental health? What would you like to say to them?
Don't think it's. I don't want them to worry that they're worrying, because you're always going to worry. You're gonna, even when you get to 29, 30, you're gonna have a bad game and doubt yourself.
Yeah.
I still doubt myself till now when I've been playing the same football game for so many years. So just know that it's normal to worry. So it's good to put pressure on yourself because it brings out the best in you. So yeah, just basically I have a saying of just take the rough with the smooth, because I can guarantee in life you're probably going to have more rough than smooth. So just enjoy the ride and just...
And always find someone to talk to.
Yeah,
I always say that.
Always. Find somebody.
That's your best bet.
Find someone that makes you feel comfortable.
Comfortable, for sure.
And just offload on them, because if they're really there for you, they take it. For me, I'm lucky I have my mum.
Yeah.
So, and I cherish her because she tells me how it is.
She gives you the real.
Yeah, she gives me.
She doesn't sugarcoat it for you.
And I don't feel like people should go through life with any type of sugarcoating anyway.
That's true.
And I feel like a lot of people, especially in this day and age, they want to hear the nice before they hear
the ugly or the truth.
And if you want to play football, I've got bad news for you, because all you're going to hear is the bad. Like,
Good.
They celebrate you for a second, and then most of your career they'll just tell you how not so good you are.
So for the young professional footballers, because I know you have a lot of fans that, you know, even on social media, they're like, oh, I want to be like you, or they even have your name as their names on social media. What is that advice that you want to give to the young footballers that are just coming up now?
Be passionate about it. Most importantly, enjoy it. Enjoy playing, because it can get taken away from you at any minute. And yeah, have faith. Have faith.
Yeah.
Whatever will be as well. So just put it in God's hands and just play football. And every time you play it, just play it with a smile on your face and just enjoy it as much as you can.
For you that have played for so long, what is one thing that you know that you carried with you throughout the years that has always helped you in your career?
I've always believed in myself.
Yeah.
And I've known that when I play, I'm fine. I think my biggest issue my whole career has been getting injured, picking up injuries. But when I've played, I've always been fine. So I think having that belief of knowing that I'm actually good enough to play at any level I wanted to play at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that helped me sleep at night.
You injure easily?
Injured,
You injure easily?
I've had loads of injuries, yeah. I feel like, to be honest, that's probably why I'm not in the Gambia squad now.
Because of your injury?
Yeah, like leading up to the AFCON and whatever. Yeah, when I was in Turkey.
So you got injured there?
Yeah.
And that's
every time I was meant to come with the national team, I got injured.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I think it was like for the last 4 times or 5 times, like me and the coach would speak and he'd be like, you literally have the worst luck ever.
That is, that's definitely bad.
Yeah. But now it is what it is. Like,
do you have
Musa's doing great, and
he really is.
So
the entire team, to be honest, they're really.
But Musa obviously plays in my position.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
then obviously you've got Steve.
Yeah.
Ablai Jallo.
Yeah.
Like we've got some talented players. So Ibrahim Akoli.
They're all doing well.
Jallo, all of them. So
they really are all doing well. We're proud of the team, and I can't wait to have some of them on the sofa as well, so we can chit chat. But right off, just you now. Towards the end of your career, I'm assuming, towards the end of, like, you're thinking of settling down now and retiring from football. Would you say you'd play for as long as you can, or would you say, you know what, in 5 years' time I want to be done?
I don't even think I want to play up to 5 years again.
Really?
No.
You're done?
Yeah, I'm 33 now, so I want to play. I want to play until, obviously, my body lets me to. And yeah, as long as I'm enjoying it. And I don't mind getting up every morning and going to play, then I'll play. But the minute I kind of lose love for it, I'll stop. You'll stop. That's for sure. Yeah. I'm not going to do it to be chasing a paycheck or whatever. I'm not doing it.
Do you have any dreams of playing one last time for the national team?
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. We always want to play. We always want to play, so yeah, definitely.
If you could change one thing in the world right now, what would it be?
I could change anything.
Yeah. What is one thing in this world that you feel like, you know what, if I had the power, this is what I would change?
I'd change Gambian football.
The entire world. This is how you know this man is really an athlete and a footballer. I said the world.
Yeah, I think I'd change football because I think it would benefit so many people in Gambia and actual benefit Gambia. Because I obviously, we went Dakar and I just seen how serious they take sport.
Yeah.
And I think if we did that, we wouldn't be far from them.
Got it. We're gonna get into another segment that I like, that the guests are always afraid of, is the Never Have I Ever segment. You guessed right. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's
You
go.
do know the Never Have I Ever segment. You know, right? Are you ready?
I've watched enough of them. Let's go.
Okay. First question is, never have I ever sent a dirty text to the wrong person. If you have, you take a sip.
Never.
Never?
No, I'm very careful.
Never have I ever cheated on. Never have I ever cheated and lied about it.
I don't know. What, and got caught?
I said never.
No, because you're saying lie about it, so that means you cheated, got caught, and
Okay,
then lied.
never have I ever cheated. Ooh, I want to know this story. How?
No, the question is, have I cheated? I think I may have. I may have. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying
What do
just
you
in case.
mean? If you were not sure, you shouldn't have drank, but you know that you did.
Maybe, yeah.
So-
No, we're young. We're young. You know what I mean? It was my younger days, not now. And we were just enjoying life, so.
And you cheated.
That's why I've not had many relationships, because I knew that I wasn't ready to.
Be in a committed
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, I wasn't
But
ready.
you cheated when you were in a committed relationship,
I think so, yeah, when I was younger.
when you were younger.
Yeah.
How did that play out?
I don't know. She probably came and spoke to me and.
How did it play out with your then partner?
I don't think I got caught.
You're that smooth, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, okay, Fresh Prince.
But I wouldn't do it now. I don't have the energy for that. I can't be asked with all that drama.
Okay. That's growth, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, that is growth. Never have I ever ghosted someone.
Oh, yeah.
Take a sip then. Why? I want to know why men ghost people. Why women do. I mean, I would ask a girl, but why do men ghost women?
Truthfully, sometimes you just don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation. So it's just best to just
It just goes back down to men are just weak.
disappear. Yeah.
No, don't say yeah because you want to.
Yeah, let me disagree.
You just agree. Just like, you know, you're right. I don't even want to get into it. But
Yeah, we don't like them uncomfortable. There's not many men that I know that want to have those type of uncomfortable conversations. So, yeah.
so men, you just decide
We
it's
just
best
try
to just
we
ghost
just try
you.
to ignore it. It's like it's never
I like it
happened.
when disappear. Never have I ever had a holiday romance.
Oh, yeah.
Take a sip then.
100%.
Where? In Dubai? Since we have learned that you like Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai. Yeah, but many places.
Ooh!
What you do though, when you go on holiday with your boys and you're all single,
That's what you do.
what else you doing on holiday?
Never have I ever skinny dipped.
Never.
Never?
Never.
No?
I would, with the right person, but
You've never skinny
No,
dipped
never.
yet. Okay. So there's still a chance that he might skinny dip, guys. The final question. Never have I ever lied in this game. You haven't? Well done, well done, well done. Well done. Before we wrap up this segment of the show, anything that you want to share with the people?
no, it's been a pleasure being on the show. I don't think the Gambian people know me personally that much, so
This
I
is
think
good.
this will be a bit of an insight into who I am. And yeah,
Yeah.
this is me, and I enjoy being me.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you guys for watching. Stick with your girl for season 2. I have so many exciting things I want to share with all of you. Thank you to Mustapha. Thank you to Wax Media for being a part of the team. And you know what? I want to say a massive thank you to one of my closest friends for setting this up. You know, she hasn't launched her brand yet, but I have named it anyway. This is called Jackie the Planner. Jackie is one of the most creative people I know, and she can create something beautiful from the simplest things. And she set up this set for me today, and I can never pay her. If you know me, you know how much I love and value my friends. And to just know that I have a friend that is this brilliant and talented, and that can do something like this in like 45 minutes, it's just amazing. So thank you to Jackie the Planner. I will put her Instagram and Snapchat below. Link her and make sure you contact her for your intimate events, because she will decorate it to the T. Thank you very much to Kalimba. Thank you to Global Properties. Thank you, a massive thank you to Tickets, because I am fully a Tickets woman. Goodbye, peace, love, and cha-ching, cha-ching.